Welcome to the second set of Tai Chi Chuan. Before we start the movement, I'd like to review some of the underlying principles of Tai Chi. As you do the Tai Chi Chuan, there are 4 things I want you to remember. The Chinese words called zhong, zhen, and shu. Zhong means centeredness, sinking down. Zhen, uprightness. And tranquil. You're very tranquil, very serene on your face. As you do Tai Chi Chuan, there's no expression required. Okay. Shu means comfortable. That is very important also. Shu means all the movements should be extended, relaxed, or joints are extended, comfortable. As you do the movement, remember the body being upright. Head should be slightly pushing, extend upward. Chest relaxed. Back straight. All the movement start from the waist. Differentiate, weight distribute from one foot to the other foot. Sometimes we call differentiate the yin and the yang. Yang being a heavy foot, yin being the empty foot. Even our hands are relaxed, parallel, not separated. Relaxed. The thumb is also parallel with the fingers. Okay, all eyes always looking forward. Conscious of a body alignment, being that's vertical. As you do the movement, remember the movement usually rooted from the feet, issued through the legs, controlled by the waist, and then expressed through the hand. With those principles, you're not to be too far from the truth. Let's go on to the second set. Second set, if you continue on from a first set to second set, you're usually starting from a cross hand position. The feet, this is called a horse stance, if you will. As you finish the motion, a little bit wider than your shoulders, slightly wider than your shoulders, as opposed to the beginning stage where the feet are parallel. This is because we want to allow the turning the foot, leave enough space for us to turn the foot. Now, let's go to the next movement called carry tiger to the mountain. Let me show you the whole entire sequence. The entire movement is very similar to the brush the right knee, isn't it? Except the direction has changed. Now, the important requirements is that even though you change the direction, you still maintain that channel. When I say channel, I'm referring to in the bow and arrow stance, be sure there is a spacing between the front foot and rear foot. This is very, very important in the bow and arrow stance. If you have a little narrower spacing here, now what happened to you, you may be very strong front and back, but you don't have the stability that you needed. Therefore, maintain the channel such that this, if you're looking dead ahead, this foot is rest on just underneath the right shoulder and left foot on the left shoulder. Therefore, you have a very stable position. Stand firmly so that you can, as Chinese classic says, withstand the push on any directions. So you want to be a very stable posture. So watch this movement again, all right? Right from here, I shift weight to the right foot, thereby I turn the hip, turn the left foot inward, shift weight back, drop the left hand down. Balance on the left foot now, the right foot. Now raise the right foot up, stepping, put a foot down, transfer weight forward, brush the right knee. At that position, you can check yourself 1 and 2. There's still the spacing between them. All right? The rest of motion is really the ward off, pull back, press, and push. The same thing. Do that with me again, if you will. Let's continue. What I've done, this motion is called fist under the elbow, or punch under the elbow. The whole movement. This is perhaps a little more complex because of the directional change. We start from this angle, notice, go all the way across. That's 180 plus another 45. That's 235 degree angle there. So therefore, because our footwork, therefore there's a lot more, because of the range of the angle here, we must make a couple transitional stages. So this time, watch my footwork. I think usually the footwork is very, very important to lay a foundation for the stability of the upper body movement. Watch the footwork now, okay? I'll count numbers, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Balance it. Next one. 1, 2, 3. Balance. And 4. If you break down the movement slowly, you find out even though a complex movement such as this involves probably 2 or 3 sub-stages of movement here. Okay? The arm running horizontal. Use, again, hip motion. Don't use arm this way. Use hip. Carry the arms all the way across. Balance it. Maintain balance. Land the foot. Pivoting, pivoting, pivoting until the left foot is pointing toward your direct to left. Balance. Come in on the left foot altogether. Now you can step the right foot calmly. Transfer all the way to right foot. Maintain balance and finish the rest of the movement. The name of the movement was after the final posture, the fist under the elbow. After that movement here, watch this. Watch the buttocks. Most common problem people have is leaning forward. Keep stable. Body 45 degree angle. Front foot again. No weight. Very relaxed. Right there. Okay? Carry on next movement called repulse monkey. This movement involves left and right side. Three times. In the form, usually do about 3 times. However, if you have more room, 5, 7 in odd numbers. All right? Now, what we're doing over here is again, the motion starts from a hip. See that? Hip movement? Hip movement, carries hands out there. Just like brush the knee, palm facing up. At this point, raise the front, you balance on the rear foot now. All right? Raise the front foot up, turn, stepping, shift way back, turn hip. Next one, turn hip, raise the foot up, stepping, slowly, slowly, shift way back, turn, 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 turn. And this right repulse monkey. One more. 1, 2, 3. Next movement, flying diagonally. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fly diagonally. This motion involves a splitting of energy there. All right, watch my footwork one more time. Balance it, stepping direct back. 1, shifting. Turn hip again, 2, turn left foot inward, 3, shift way back, 4, stepping, and 5, use leg, hip movement, and hand whip it out. Hand should be eye level, despite hip area. Flying diagonally. Sometimes we have problem balancing ourselves. As a result, when we step out, we try to catch our balance. As a result, the footwork very slow, very fast, or have a narrow stance. I'd like to ask my assistant, Mr. Henry Chuan, to demonstrate some of the things that pitfall that common practitioner will fall into and things to avoid. Mr. Henry Chuan, would you come and help me? Starting from the cross-hand position, first do the carry tie to the mountain. Things people commonly make the errors. Okay, he stepped too quickly, and notice the stance is very narrow. In that stance, fall right over. So the key thing is let the foot moving back a little bit. Okay, so the footwork instead of over here should be further out, right there. Okay, therefore, even in this angle here, notice the shoulder and hip on the same plane there. All right, so be sure move the foot in a little bit and then stepping out. Let's go next movement. This is the fist under the elbow. And involve a cranial movement people having problem with. This is a ward off. Okay. Pull back. Okay. Okay, next movement. Okay. Stop right there. You're stepping so far in the front, you no longer have a room to step to the side. That foot should be 45 degrees to this point. So Henry, move the foot out a little bit over here. There we go. That's the position you have. A very small step, if you will, not a big step. Okay? The weight is still rear in the rear foot. The toe is slightly upward here, and you turn the hip, and the toe follows right along, pointing to that position here. All right? And now you step. Oh, there goes the problem again. What happened? Because you transfer the body too far forward. You should balance on this foot here, stepping out softly, landing, then go forward. All right? Now what happened next time? Make a mistake again. What common people know. Okay? It's too narrow a stance. The foot should be right in front. That's it. That's the position you should be here. Okay? As opposed to block your own ways here. All right? Thank you, Harry. To reiterate here, at that position here, come back, come over here, balance it on this foot. When you balance it, all you have to do is put the foot out here. Don't put over here, because that's where the passage for my right foot goes through. So right over here, don't shift way yet, slowly, 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 slowly. Point of the position now, settle down. Now you can maintain good balance on left foot to step the right foot forward. As you transfer forward more, this time commit all the way to the right foot, maintain balance, and finish the remaining movement. Hand and foot should be ended at the same time. Knee slightly bent, fist slightly to the elbow. Your fist is pointing straight, about 11 o'clock position. You're facing front is 12. That's the position you should have. All right? Relax. Common problem at this point again, leaning forward. Looking straight ahead, in good shape right there. All right? Good. As you're stepping forward, remember, you're landing with a heel. As you're stepping back, you're landing on the ball of a foot. Not on a toe. It takes two on land, foot. All right? So stepping back with proper balance is also important. Let me ask Henry Chuan again to demonstrate some of the errors people make on repulse monkey. Henry, would you come over here? I want you to start from fist under the elbow and go through the two movements of repulse monkey where people commonly make mistakes on. Go. Keep going. Okay? What people make mistake is body leaning forward too much. Settle down here. Watch the hand here. Hand not too far forward here. Elbow should be settled down. Wrist bending. Hands point straight. In Yang's Tai Chi Chuan, there's a term called sitting wrist. Sitting wrist means the palms are facing straight up. The wrist slightly bent without tension, mind you. Now if you extend the arm, notice is there no way you can keep the hand vertical. What you have to do is not bending the wrist more, but rather drop the elbow more. Make a very nice circle here. That's the position you have. Very relaxed. This should be center line position here. And notice what Harry did. He did not actually pause. Went right to the other motion. Okay? You want to slightly settle down for one movement before we get to the next movement. Eyes looking forward. And the front foot is relaxed. Still relaxed. You don't have to lift it off the ground. It's just about 90 and then 10% in front here. Thank you, Harry. Let's go over this from repulse monkey down to fly diagonally, and I will continue on. What we're going to continue on, notice, is a series of familiar movements we already learned in the first set. So we're going to just go through to the point that you already done before. All right, that's from repulse monkey, the final third repulse monkey. It should be right from here. 1, 2, 3, holding the ball, body turning to the left, balance it. 3, 4, stepping. Now use a hip motion. 4, settle down, settle down, settle down, settle down. Coasting forward. Closing arms to the front. Next one, wide crane. Spread its wings. Next one, brush the left knee. That portion wrong, you're already done. But there's one area I want you to see. After the fly diagonally, one arm goes forward because the body is turning a little bit. The left hand goes down. There's another movement where the rear hand is going back. So the bow and arrow stance does not face the front, more a diagonal posture. So the whole thing is coming over slowly, slowly, separating hands, separating, separating. From this point here, the weight is in the front foot, 70-80% the front foot, 20% in the rear. From that position, we go forward, balance on our front foot, body turn a little bit, left foot landing, ball of foot, heel, settle down, turn hip, coming to closing arms to the front. Watch my front foot, no weight, settle down. Let's see what people usually make mistake on this movement. Henry, would you come forward? Now watch Henry move from the last repulsed monkey to the flying diagonally and leading to the closing arms to front. The mistakes people commonly make. Good. What happened here, what Henry did here, is he did not sink down. First you settle down, twist the front foot for balancing. Now next motion, don't straighten the knee up because this guarantee you're going to fall forward. Keep it sinking down, keep the knee same bend, keep your head same elevation, merely coasting forward more, balance it out, and then turn it for a little bit less softly, and then coming forward. Okay? Now facing the front. Don't do, and then fall back. And that time, keep your chi or your breath sinking to the abdominal region. You stabilize better. If you have the energy right up to here, you become top heavy and you tend to fall forward. All right? After this motion, we went back to the movement in the first set. The wide crane spreads wings that you know already. All right? Hands and foot moving the same time. Brush the knee. Winding back. Right foot, right hand, left foot going together. Transfer way forward. Brush the knee. Now next movement, continue on. These two movements goes together. The first one is called needle at the C bottom. Open hands like a fan. Okay? There are a lot of common notion. People thought needle at the C bottom is going straight down. This is not the original intent. Original intent, the C bottom is somebody's groin. Therefore, it's not down here, it's in the front. And the needle is really your arm. So therefore, what the motion boiled down to common martial art terminology is zapping his groin. You know, that's the idea behind it. So really what it is, the more poetic sense of needle at the C bottom. So don't looking down here. It's not going straight down, more to the front. Relax the wrist, coming down. Watch my footwork now, okay? All right, come forward, just like play the peapod. Shift weight back, rotate the arms, rotate the hip, hands out. Notice both hands are still in front of my body. Settle down with the right foot, the left foot settle down. Now bend the knees, lean forward a little bit, needle C bottom. Rotate the arms, upward body still face the front. Some point in time you raise the rear foot now. Now take a step. As you transfer forward, turn the hips slightly, extend hands forward. Open hands like a fan, or sometimes they call connect the fan, connect to the back, because it's this turning motion. Can connect to the back. Okay, and you would say, now, Dan, you're talking about the body should be always straight. How come all of a sudden you're going downward here? There are exceptions, because this particular movement is a dynamic movement, imply an application. As soon as this motion is over, you're immediately bouncing upward, take a step, finish the motion here. So the transitional movement, it does carry some martial art application in it. Please do not use the arm itself. Do not go move this motion. It's really, it faces the front. This, by the way, all Tai Chi movement, the why this movement is this way is because of a martial art function. If without a martial art function, there'll be a lot of arguments say, why don't I just do this way? This is more prettier. Tai Chi movement is, sure, very graceful, very nice, very coordinated, but behind all that movement, there is a function, application. With that application in mind, it sets the criteria of this movement, keep it to the intact, its original intent. So this portion coming up here, you face the front, really in fact is control somebody's attack here. You're stepping forward, redirecting the attack, same time, left hand striking forward. Let me show you the two common errors people make on the needle C bottom and open hands like fan. Mr. Henry Chuan, would you come by and demonstrate the errors that people commonly make on needle C bottom first. Stop right there. People tend to have their hands too far back there. Keep the hands in the same, still in front of center line here. Okay, next movement. All right, notice what happened? This shoulder is too far over, his spine is crooked. Even this motion, the back, the spine is straight, these pull shoulders are same level. Therefore, the spine is naturally bent, naturally straight, not twisted, right there. Needle C bottom. Next motion. Stop. Notice, before you even step forward, the body is already turned. All right, what is there to do? Next motion, carry over. All you have is the leg motion. There's no more hip turn anymore. Hip is already turned. All right? That's the thing we should be careful. Hold on there, right there. Okay, now, as you later on, as you see the film application, see how important these movements are. You're coming forward, you block somebody's energy there. As you come forward, you direct the energy here, and your hands coming forward. Another common mistake people make is head looking this way. I want you looking straight ahead. This is position, again, face the front, right by. This is the position there. Thank you, Henry. Okay. Now we're going to start making the motion, turning back again. As you know, remember the very first set, we have movement called single which change direction from the front to the left. This next movement is another movement that allows you to go to the other direction. Name of this movement called turn back with fists. Let me demonstrate the movement to you. Turn back with fists involves shifting weight, turning the hip, turn the left foot about 45 degrees, hand rests right on top of forehead. This hand circles downward, shifting weight, and adjust the front foot. Now you may not notice my foot. I'm turning on the heel first, shift way back, and turning this foot. In Tai Chi Chuan, again, talking about separating yin and yang. You never move the both feet simultaneously. You're always shifting weight, allow one foot to set the final position, shift way back, and move the foot. Never do the foot together. You lose stability. So the footwork should be shifting first, aware of the turning of the hip, left foot turning inward about 45 degrees. All right, shift way back, holding fist. Now as you reach as you weight shift back to rear foot, adjust the front foot and ball of a foot. right there. Turn back with fist is the en garde posture, which leads to next movement. From turn back with the fist, it reaches the front. One motion, 2, 3, and circle the arm fist back into the position, the posture that you have been familiar with. Remember the first set, stepping forward, circular movement, strike, parry, and punch. So let me do it again. Let me count numbers, all right? So you can see what the proper sequence is. 1, 2, get in position here. 3, there. Next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's a continuous sequence of movement. I like to always relate this movement in a sense of a strategy session, if you will. When I do this motion here, suddenly I hear something behind. So the quick way to do that, instead of changing footwork, I turn around, look what's happening. And that's what this move is all about. Right there, very quickly. Go slowly to be sure I weigh correctly. All right, here's indeed somebody here. Who is that? Mr. Henry Kwong, stand over here. Okay, as I'm looking back, sure enough, I saw somebody over there. Now, he's going to start coming with a fist. A right fist to the body. A right fist to the front, okay, coming to me. Now, what I did over here is a seat coming to me, go slowly. 1, 2. Right there, controlling. But I'm still in a very awkward posture to begin with. So I step over here, control this 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In some cases, the best defense is offense. So watch out the sequence of movement in terms of the application. I watch something happen here. I watch his time his punch toward me. I redirecting. I strike. Now look, when I strike, notice my foot landing first. Then I strike. As soon as I fist striking, left hand parry. Raking back with the fist. Coming over there, another back fist. Ranging, parrying, finish with a finishing punch. Let's go to that movement again. I want you to do this movement with balancing and fluidity. All right, from open hands like fan. Be sure to open hands like fan, the movement is big. Step is good size, step bow narrow stance. If you have a very narrow stance, you may find out you got very awkward postures. All right, so if you do this position, you wind up very awkward, it tends to fall. All right, I'm going to do this motion again, from open hands like fan. Turn, holding fist, right there. Next one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A complete sequence of movement. I want to mention one more thing about this step here. Turn back with fist. Be sure your left foot is turning inward by virtue of turning your hip. Let this foot pointing towards 1 o'clock position. Suppose this is directly facing the camera, is 12 o'clock position, turning inward, in other words. This motion, you may be very careless to do that without any problem. But what happened is next step, you're going to suffer the consequences, not balance yourself. If I have this position, in this position, carelessly with the foot pointing here, my next step, I have opened myself up. I really couldn't balance myself. When I step, you watch my knee. I'm going to injure my knee. The proper way to protect the knee is whatever you do, when you put weight on a foot, on this particular foot, your knee is right on top of the foot. This is very important. Tai Chi is a very beautiful movement, enhance all the energy and so on. But at the same time, if you don't follow the basic principles and violate the design limits of your own limbs, you're going to have injuries. I do know people that have knee injuries because of this problem here. So come right here with the foot turning 1 o'clock position. As you shift way back, notice my knee is resting right on the foot. With that position, I can raise the foot facing here, stepping, no problem. Over here, if the pointing to the front, I will torque my knee too much. I cannot land softly either. I will fall very heavily. So be sure, this is one of the important things to protect your knee, get yourself correctly, and notice again, 1, 2, and 3. We mentioned that in the first set also. The power of this striking, it's actually figure 8 striking, is based on a support in the front foot. So as you're stepping, don't go simultaneously, but rather landing and striking. Okay, I'll finish the motion now. Continue. Notice this movement, again, it repeats from the first set. The ward off, the pull back, the press, and a push, and a single whip. Same movement. So the only thing is the linkage movement. The linkage movement involved is shifting weight, all right, a little circular in the hip to the right a little bit, and then turn to the left, which carries the left foot out here, left hand down, transfer it forward, hip turning more to the left, holding the ball, and step. From here, you're set free for the next movement, which I'm sure you've been practicing for many, many times by now. Okay, I'll go through again. Ward off, pull back, press, and push. I do want to mention the push a little bit more. I have experienced the people doing that is going here. Notice what happened here? I moved my leg back too quickly. As a result, I reached the end. I can't go any further. And what you see remaining is the arm movement. That follows Tai Chi principle. Tai Chi principle says, when you move, all things move. When you reach a completion, all things come to completion. So therefore, time you're going back. Watch the motion again. Going back, 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 still going down, and without stopping, coming forward. See that? Even this circle is a continuous motion. Do not come to stop and go. Notice there's a corner there. So minimize corner. Sitting back, down, and bouncing forward. Single whip movement again. This time I want to mention something else. I want at this point mention 5 elements in the Tai Chi Chuan, in the movement here. It says you got to have 5 different qualities involved. Let me say Chinese first. Shou, Yan, Shen, Fa, Bu. Shou, arm movement, or hand, arm movement. Yan, eyes. Shen, body. Fa, methods, applications. Bu, steps. So therefore, if you practice movement correctly, you involve all those things. I have mentioned about the arm movement. I mentioned about the body movement. I mentioned about application, as you eventually will learn. I mentioned about the footwork. And now I mentioned the eyes. The eye, they say, eyes, the spirit of the eyes, is very much integral part of the Tai Chi movement. In other words, whatever movement, whatever your mind goes, your eye goes. The eyes should always lead the movement. Eyes follow the hand, if you will. So do not just stay in one direction. And usually you follow the leading hand motion. Okay? When you have eyes involved, the spirit of eyes involved, which means your mind directs the eyes, eyes carries the hand, energy follows through. And the Chinese says, if your eyes is there, your mind is there, your chi is there. When chi is there, energy is there. Now we've been that single whip for some time. This time let me emphasize about the eyes. Let me give you a real general rule. The eyes always look at the leading hand. If you remember that, you're in good shape. Don't say, oh, now first I look the left hand, and then the right hand, and then the left hand. You get all confused. Going back to the source, always looking at the leading hand. Now watch me. The single whip movement involves what? Leading hand, leading hand, leading hand. So if you do this motion correctly, notice your body automatically turns. If I don't do that, what's happening? When I'm not looking at the hand, my body does not move. My mind is not there at all. When the mind is not there, there's no chi extended to the particular limb, and there's no energy there. So this time, even though we do single whip, I want you to pay attention to my eyes. Now watch me. Eyes look at the left hand. Now right hand. And now left hand again. Again, I want to mention one more thing. Yes, you're looking at the hand, but there's one more limitation. I don't want you to look at the hand. Since my right hand is going down, I don't want you to go down, looking here and up. Keep your eyes always a horizontal scan. So when you go back, your peripheral vision sees this hand going back there. Don't looking down. If you do this one, you violate one of the principles of not allowing the head to hang pointing straight up there. All right, so at this point, don't looking down. Just aware of this hand. Follow right over there. When you reach this point, this is very important. When you stepping forward, look at the hook hand. Look at the left hand, leading left hand here. One more thing here. At that point, about halfway over, looking to the front first, and let the hand reach in the center. Let me do one more time, all right? One more little comment about the hand, hook hand. You reach this point, reach hook hand, pointing down there, drop the elbows down, passing the solar plex, and then extending out. Common mistake is raising too high up, leave your body exposed, up, elevate your whole body weight, dropping down. Because the position should be like this there. All right, single whip. Now let's go to the next movement in our set, which is cloud hands, which is probably one of the more dynamic movements in the set. Let me demonstrate the movement first. The cloud hand is a lateral motion, very unique in Tai Chi. Not going front, going back, but lateral motion here. And traditionally we step to the left side. Let me demonstrate the movement. We do 3 cloud hand and with a single whip. The cloud hand motion involved is the body is upright, you're turning the hip, your eyes looking the upper hand. Once you reach the center line, you rotate the arms. Notice the hand is going this direction, you step the foot sideways, toe landing first. Because notice when the heel is quite far away yet, and there's no supportive, no shock absorber effect if you land with the heel. Sideways, toe down. And then from this foot, propel to here, express through the hand. The energy is from the foot diagonally upward to the hand. So this motion, the energy almost like figure 8 motion from here to the hand, down to this foot, coming here, and eyes are always looking at the upper hand. Reach this point, this right hand coming up, you're looking this hand. Remember, eyes always looking leading hand. All right, coordinate the hand with the foot. Do not go here, stop, and step. Coordinate it. Let me do one more time. All right, I want to do with me. And shifting weight, you turn body, turn the foot forward. Now from here, begin the motion. Scooping, shift weight, balance on left foot. All right, right foot in, follow the right hand. Balance on right foot now. As you stepping, hands continue moving, crossing each other at that point. Put a foot down, rear foot push, right foot push, turn, 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 turn. Weight on left foot now, right foot gently coming in softly. Your hand movement and foot movement should be same speed. Avoiding moving like this. It disrupts it. There's no longer the harmony involved there. At the end of a single whip, let me count numbers for you from the thing. When the feet together, you count a number, okay? So let's do it again. From here, feet together, I count 1. Feet out. Feet together, 2. Feet out. 3. When you get 3, get the right foot parallel, 45 degree, ready for single whip. So when you count 3, right foot, 45 degree angle, this hand scooping about halfway, change to hook hand, stepping out, and complete a single whip movement. This completes the sequence for the second set. Now we will do the whole complete form. Now, as I mentioned before, I don't want you to be so anxious to learn a part of tape 1 and jump into tape 2. Let's use illustration of building a building. The tape 1 is laying the foundation and perhaps the first floor. Now, you know, if you build a building, it takes about 3 weeks of seeing nothing. Nothing happened. Why? By digging down, laying foundations. Once you get the foundation all firmed up, now you can put the post up there, and the first set provides a foundation and a structure. Second set now, with that good firm foundation of the first set, you can now build upon the second set. So I want you to always go back and practice the first set until it becomes second nature to you. And then you can go into the second set. The Chinese says, fear not going slowly. Fear only going stand still. Stand still or going too fast. You say if you're going too fast, you end up have to go back. And now it is easy to learn the movement. It's very difficult to unlearn. So I want you to, right from the very beginning, develop a good foundation to build the next movement on up. Now let's go to the second set in its entirety. We'll start from the cross hand position. If you follow me, let's go together. All right? These forms are very applicable in self-defense. So let's see how this fist under the elbow used in the actual situation. Now let's see how the fly diagonally motion is applied to the actual combat situation. Repulse monkey. You're stepping back. Notice we're also counterattacking. It's very effective in a self-defense situation. Let's see how the application of needle C bottom is used in the situation. The cloud hand movement is a very beautiful meditative movement. The arms waving up and down like clouds, as if you're in a nature situation, moving clouds. You can use that movement by itself as a very meditative movement. Yet in actual application, it shows deadliness in its application. Let's see what happened. This completes our second set of Tai Chi Chuan. As you're now looking back, the first set lays some foundation of the Tai Chi movement. The second set offers some more variation, different angles, different turning of body, stepping back, cloud hands. It provides overall a more basic training of the hip and leg motion. I think if you practice 1 and 2 together, and once you perfect it, you find out, you begin to see the flavor of Tai Chi movement that's characteristic of on and on. Now please practice that every day. And the typical traditional way, they say, suggest you practice both in the morning and in the evening. Don't practice everything in the weekend. That won't work. It's a little bit accumulation of movement every day. Every day you have some accomplishment. They usually suggest you practice 3 times. The first time as a warm-up. Second time you became more aware of the postures, accuracy of the movement. And the third time you put your spirit into it. So I want you to really dedicate yourself to practice this 1 and 2. Once you get these 2 movements perfected, now we can move on to the third set, which involves the kicking and more demanding on your balance. So therefore, good, happy practice set 1 and set 2.